and welcome to Tojo Fitness. It's Friday, which means we get our flexi on. So come and join me, grab your mat, grab a little blanket, and we will see you for some Flexi Friday freakiness. See you soon. Hey everyone, and welcome to today's edition of Flexi Friday. I'm Jo from Tojo Fitness, and today we're going to spend some time in flexibility, some basic stretches. Don't panic too much. This isn't going to be way advanced. We're going to start at the beginning and then increase further. So I've got with me today my yoga mat. You may use perhaps a mat that you've got or a blanket. I've also got underneath my hips just a little blanket just here, just to heighten the hips as we start off in our seated cross-legged position, which is going to be where we're going to start today. So get yourself comfortable, get yourself on this elevation of your hips, get your yoga mat out, bring that smile. So we're starting in this seated position, as you can see, cross-legged on the mat, and we're going to sit up nice and tall. We're going to place our hands onto our knees. We're going to drop the shoulders away from the ears. Perhaps we hold our stress in our shoulders. We're going to drop the shoulders and relax the face at the same time. And we're going to take 3 big, deep breaths. Now our breaths are going to expand in our tummy. In through the nose and out through the mouth through a count of 3, and in. Dropping the shoulders as we breathe out. One last time, my friends. In. And out. Just feeling and experiencing the body come to peace and relax. Perhaps you've had a stressful week. And we're going to start just by slowly rolling the shoulders back. So up round the ears and down. And with each time that we do our flexibility exercises today, we're going to be adopting that breath that I've just taught you at the beginning. So in. Good, well done, and we'll start by reversing that shoulder roll back the other way and adopting that breathing at the same time. And I'll be counting how many breaths we do per exercise as well. So deep breaths, my friends. Good, well done. And we're going to find length in our spine. We're going to look to the floor. Just bring that gaze to the floor, bring the chin to the chest. Stand up nice and tall, feeling that nice stretch in the back of the spine here. Sending oxygen, sending everything you've got to that spot. Breathing in. And out. And again. One last time. Find length. And out. Well done, everyone. We're going to take away the support from our hips now. Just place that to the side, back into our seated position. Find length in the spine, breathing into it. We will take our right hand, place it on our left knee. We'll send the left hand to the side for some support, and we'll take a deep breath in first. And we'll look over that left shoulder, bringing the shoulders back, sending the chest up, just opening up through this chest area and taking some deep breaths. Let's not exhaust the back here, but deep breaths. And we'll take one more here. Good, well done. Slowly releasing back to centre, and we'll now take our left hand onto the right knee. Right hand goes to the side for some support. We're going to bring the shoulders back so we don't end up caving down. Shoulders back, inhale first. And we're going to rotate and breathe out, bring the shoulders back, chest out, and send the oxygen into that lovely rotation in the spine. And we'll take one more deep breath here, my friends. Good, well done. And we're going to return really slowly back to centre. We're now going to come onto all fours. So from here, there are two ways you can do that. You can just untie yourself and come onto all fours, or if you want to roll forward onto the hands, untie at the back, and we'll come onto our mats in this nice tabletop position. So we will place the hands directly under the shoulders, knees will go directly under the hips. So we're in this nice, evenly weighted, distributed position here. And we're going to come into our cat-cows. So that starts with dropping the belly to the floor. We're going to send the sit bone and the pelvis up towards the ceiling and create this lovely, just small little dip in our back, just here. Now what I want you to do is take some deep breaths. Send the oxygen to the back, just at the lower part of the spine here, where you'll feel this little stretch. So deep breaths here. Well done. We're going to push away from our mat and now come into our scared cat position. Then up onto, imagine you've got claws here, and we're going to stretch out into those shoulders, into the lat area here, pushing away from the floor with everything you've got, and breathe. Good, one more. Checking in where the toes are, bring them in line perhaps with the hips and the knees. Good. And we'll come back into that cow position, imagining perhaps you're dropping the udders down to the floor. Create that nice dip in the back. Ooh. Deep breaths. One more. Good, and again, we're going to push away and create that nice hunch in the top of the back, feeling the shoulders stretch and the middle of the back here, and breathing, belly breaths. One more. Good, well done. Bringing back to centre. Placing the hands back under the shoulders if they've gone out for a little walk. And what we're going to do now, we're going to come into what's called our pigeon stretch, one of my favourite stretches. It's going to target the glute area. So in the all four position here, we will take our right knee and bring it up towards our chest here. We'll place our foot out in front, just here. So you have your knee in line with the hip. The foot is across the body, and we'll send that left leg, just slip it backwards, making sure the toes on both feet are flat on the floor. So we can start in this position here, and you'll feel just a little tightness. Or if you feel a little bit more risky today, we can come down onto our elbows, just here, and you'll feel the stretch just in the middle of the glute here. We want to breathe as much as you can. We'll take 3 more big breaths here. One more. That's it, you're doing really well. We're going to use our upper body strength to bring the knees back together again. Send the hands under the shoulders, the knees directly under the hips, and we'll swap that over. You can perhaps lift yourself off the floor or just bring that knee up to the chest and send it across. And the right leg goes out straight. Again, you can stay in this position here if that's comfortable, or we can come down onto the elbows. Again, breathing into the left glute. Well done, my friends. We're going to take 3 more deep breaths in this position. Good. One more. Oh, that was a good breath. Well done. Place the hands onto the floor. Use the upper body strength to bring ourselves back up into our all fours here. We are going to place our hands slightly in front of the mat here, in front of ourselves. We're going to lower our body to the floor so we are in this nice flat position. Hands come in line just where the shoulders are, and we are able to, if you can, just lift up from the hands. Just a small lift on the back here, feeling in the bottom of the back. 2 more breaths. And 1 more. Well done, my friends. Lifting up from the mat with the upper body strength. We will send the knees slightly wider. And we'll place the toes will kiss together at the back. So we're in this nice triangle position here. And we're going to come down onto the mat, place our hands out in front, and we're going to melt the body down to the floor. And you'll find this beautiful stretch as we open out the back, down onto the elbows, and stretch it out here. We're going to take 5 deep breaths in this position, so you can look away from the video and get in the zone here. So 5 deep breaths. Opening up the scapula at the back. 2 more. And 1 more, my friends. Well done. And we're going to lift up onto our hands. Bring the hands back onto the mat. And we're going to come and lay onto our backs. So from here we can swing the legs round onto the back. Nice and flat. Oh, that feels good. So we are going to take our right foot and bring it over to the left bum cheek. So we have this crossing over of the leg. We're going to take hold of the knee and bring that in towards the centre of our tummy, of our chest, and in what's called your gluteus medius, just here. You'll probably find it's a little bit tight. So we're going to take some nice deep cleansing breaths in this position. So the more you breathe, the more the body's going to relax, the more you'll find the tension will stop fighting against you in the muscle. Flood it with oxygen. And we'll take 1 more breath in this position. Good, and slowly lower the leg to the floor. We're not going to make any rush today. We're not going to send our body into a rush. We're going to bring the left foot over, again, to the right bum cheek here, and just bring that knee in towards us. And there it is, you'll find the glute medius just letting you know that it's a little tight, and we're going to breathe. If your mind starts to wander about all the things that you've got to do on your to-do list, just come back to that breath. All that matters is this moment right here, right now, and you stretching out that bum cheek. Good, well done. We're slowly going to lower the leg to the mat. What we're going to do next is going to be great for those suffering with lower back pain. So we'll bring our right knee into the chest and we're going to hug it in nice and tightly. And breathe in. You could probably find a little bit of tightness around the hip joint here, even perhaps the hamstrings if you're tired. And deep breaths in this position. And 2 more. Last one. Well done, my friends, sending that leg nice and slowly back to the mat. And we'll bring the left knee again into the chest. Hug that in nice and tightly and breathe. Let's try and get the shoulders away from the ears. And 1 more. Well done, my friends. We're going to bring the right knee up to meet the left knee. Oh, hello. And we'll bring ourselves in for a nice self-hug. Yes, big, tight hug. And from here, we're going to just slowly rock from side to side on our mat. Not too far over. Not so you topple over. But just that free massage from the floor on this lovely Friday afternoon. And what that does, it just soothes the bottom muscles of the back, just like you're getting a massage from a sports therapist. This is a free massage. You are welcome. Deep breaths. One more breath here. Good, well done. We are going to place the feet onto the floor, so we've got this nice bend in the knee here. We're going to come into our piriformis stretch. For those who suffer from sciatica, this is going to be a really good stretch to put into your routine. So we will take our left foot and cross it across our right leg. Try and get down as far to the hip joint as you can, even if you have to hold the foot into place, and you'll find that the knee will want to come towards you. We're going to take our left hand, place it on the left knee, and very slowly and slightly push away. And in the hip joint there, you'll feel just the piriformis just give you a little hello to let you know that it's there. And we're going to breathe into that joint. Lots of breath. And 1 more. Well done, my friends. Just send that left foot back to the mat, and we'll take the right and cross it over the left leg. We'll place the right hand on the right knee and we'll just push that away. Nothing too fast. We don't want to upset the piriformis, so we're just going to do it nice and slowly until we feel that little poke in our hip joint, and we'll breathe. Good, well done, my friends. We'll have 1 more breath here. Well done. We're going to unravel the leg here, place the foot back onto the floor, and we're going to sit up back into our seated position. We're going to place our legs out in front of us. We'll send the left leg out long. We'll bring the right leg so the foot is laying flush against the left leg here. We'll send the right knee outwards so we get this nice opening within the hip joint here. And we're going to sit up nice and straight. So making sure that the seat bones are all in line. We're going to take some deep breaths before we do anything. So we're going to come into a hamstring stretch. And the key is in the breath. So you're going to deep breath first. And as you breathe out, reach down to the toes. Now it may be that you end up here. That's fine. Hold that and deep breathe at the same time. And you'll find week by week that you'll start getting progress. Perhaps you'll come down to your ankles or your shoelaces. And then eventually you'll be able to come to the toes here. And we're going to breathe into the backs of the legs as the hamstrings let us know that they're there. So deep breaths, my friends. And try and get your head as far down as you can. Good, well done. And we will release on that leg. We're going to keep it in position. We're going to send the left hand to the side for some support. And this is going to be an amazing stretch on the shoulders and on the sides of the lats. So the left hand, not too far back so you're collapsing, but just behind the left butt cheek here. We'll put the right hand to the outside of that left leg. Oh, there it is. And we're going to breathe. If you sit at a desk, this is going to be amazing for you. Stretching out the shoulders, especially if you're a little tight. Deep breaths. And one more. Well done. We're going to send the right leg out long here. We're going to bring the left leg just into the foot. Again, he's sitting flush just across the quad muscle here. And again, we're going to breathe. If you hadn't noticed, the key is the breath. So we're going to take a big, deep breath and then come down into our hamstring stretch. So breathing in. And we'll trace the fingers down the leg till we reach the feet. It's mainly important to point the toes towards you. Just gives you a bit more of an extra stretch going on the hamstring muscle here. And we're going to breathe into that muscle. Well done, my friends, you're doing really well. One more breath. Good, well done. We're going to sit up nice and tall. We'll send the right hand just to the side of us for support. Again, not collapsing down onto it because we want to sit up nice and straight and find that length in our spine. We'll take our left hand and place it to the outside now of that right leg. And feeling that stretch as the shoulder blade starts to open up and unwind, and breathe into it. And one more. Oh, the shoulders are relaxing down. Let's just do one more there, it's so good. Well done. From here, we are going to come into some standing stretches. So slowly bring yourself up from the mat, and we're going to do again some hamstring stretches, but from a totally different position. So if you can send your legs out wide as far as you can go, you know your limits. You know your limits, just don't get stuck. So we're going to send our legs out as far as we can. We're going to keep our back straight as much as we can here as well. And we're going to find ourselves just going to fold forward, tracing the hands down the legs. Try and keep the legs as flat and straight as possible. And we're going to come down as far as you can go, and you'll feel, oh, the hamstrings are going to let you know they're there. And if you can, we're going to bring the hands to the floor. Now, it may be your here, it may be your fingertips, it may be your knuckles. If it's your head, then congratulations, because that's our major win. So we're going to come down onto the hands here, breathing into the backs of the legs. Ooh. Make sure that you're just, as though you're going to sit backwards, but you're not. So you're just kind of seated, you're sitting into it rather than leaning your body weight forward. The body weight will go towards the back here. So deep breaths. Oh, that's good. Good, one more breath here, I promise, and we're done. Ooh. Well done. We are going to heel toe inwards. We do this because we like our knees and we like our legs. We want to look after the joints here. We're now going to come into a hip flexor stretch. So we sometimes find on our hips just here, if we have a sedentary job, you're going to find that they'll get smaller and smaller, and they'll become a little bit weak as well. So we're going to face on the long ways of our mat here, and we're going to come down onto our knees. So onto the knees, and we'll take the left leg and place it out in front of us. Left leg out in front. And what we're going to do is we're going to lean forward on that left knee and create this nice, almost this little angle here. And you're going to feel that all of a sudden, straight away in the hip flexor. We're going to place the hands onto the floor and come up onto those toes at the back. Ooh, and you'll feel the hip flexor just here, having a little grumble. And we're going to send our breath to there. And one more. Well done. We'll place the knee to the mat. We'll sit back up nice and tall. One last time. We're going to lean forward on that left knee. And you'll feel that again. Double bubble hip flexor stretch this afternoon even. Double bubble hip flexor stretch. And breathe into those joints. Two more. You're doing really well. We've got a couple of stretches to go and you're done. Good, well done. We will place the knee alongside the right knee and we'll send the right knee forward. Placing it forward, leaning in, making sure that your foot is flat on the floor. And again, on the left-hand side, we're just giving that hip flexor a little bit of encouragement to stretch out. We're going to place the hands onto the mat, either side of that right foot, and we'll lift up on the back toes. Ooh, there it is. And breathe. And one more. Good. Drop that left knee to the mat. We'll come back and sit up, stand up even nice and tall. And we'll send the right knee forward. Again, that will catch the hip flexor on the left-hand side. Double bubble this afternoon. Again, this is really good if you have a sedentary job or you just find yourself sitting a lot more during the day. Just flexing out the hip flexors will also help your lower back pain too. Deep breaths. One more here. Good, well done my friends. We're going to bring the knees together. We're going to come back into our seated position where we started. Bringing the hands to the knees. We're just going to drop the shoulders down. And take 5 big deep breaths. Perhaps you'd like to close your eyes. Just imagine all the stress right now disappearing. Bring the shoulders down from the ears. Being thankful for this moment that you find yourself in. And one more. Well done my friends. Good stretching today. Make sure you're keeping yourself flexible throughout the week, and we'd love you to join us again on another one of our FLEXI Fridays. I'm Jo and this is Tojo Fitness. Take care.